light show going, and that means we are
true.
ready to get into the draft. So I'll hold your thoughts here. What are you expecting to see very early in the draft? In this current patch, what are the hotly contested picks?
I would say that in the NA meta, I'm looking at Venge and Razors a lot. I think those two heroes are very common in almost in every draft that I've seen, or either banned or picked.
Right, well, we're going to see if you're right. And what about you, Sumail? What do you think is going to be contested here? We got an early Lifestealer ban there.
I think Troll and Bane are two of the most contested heroes in the qualifiers in NA. Like I've been seeing them a lot in the past qualifiers. But it depends from team to team. OD, GGNGG.
The G team. That's what we're calling them from now on, right?
Dire.
Yeah.
Their mid player plays a lot of OD, and yeah, that's the thing with NA Dota, man. It's really unpredictable. You know, you can't really see it coming. But all right, that's an OD ban. I don't know why they banned it. It's kind of their own hero. So it's surprise.
What about the Brewmaster ban as well? Is that
like it's kind of new development in the meta, or at least NA. Like when we were playing quals, we didn't see Panda at all. Right. And then like after the break, it's like over the next week or two, just for some reason I've been seeing a lot of 5 Panda. But every time I've watched it, it's lost. So I'm not really like, I don't really think it's amazing. I remember back when his E used to be way stronger, level 1, but now it got nerfed a lot. So I think after that, people stopped picking it internationally, but NA is now back on it.
Yeah, last tournament that we did, it was Phoenix. It was in almost every game. Yeah, it was either banned or picked. It was crazy strong at that moment in time.
Kind of the same concept, because you want, like, usually in LANs, like Sunil was saying, you want some team fight. You know, generally it's a stable way of looking at things. Like Phoenix will always do something in the game.
Yeah, my captain loves to play Phoenix. You mentioned it, I have to mention it too, you know, like, I think that might be the reason all these Brewmasters are coming in, because all the 5 players, mostly their heroes are really boring. They're playing Witch Doctors and stuff, so they tend to make these Phoenix and Brewmaster work, because they have fun spells and they do cool stuff.
Yeah, people are just sick of
I don't think NA Dota is like very... Ix Mike is the only player, I think, who plays 5 in NA who actually enjoys playing it. Everyone else is just like, just trying to have fun, man. I don't know if they're dedicated to their role, you know, so they just do random stuff.
So what about this Sven and Venge bans that we've got coming in here? Does this make sense with your understanding of where things are right now?
I think the Venge ban is pretty clear to me. They don't like people don't want to play against Venge plus TB, or like Venge combos into a lot of things. You know, Venge Medusa. But the Sven is like weird, because I don't know if Sven is actually like, maybe they were hoping to pick Sven Lina. Yeah. So they wanted to, maybe they researched them and they're like, yeah, these guys like Sven Lina, or maybe they scrimmed. So now they're showing something else.
And you actually called it when we were doing rehearsal, Sumail. You said you thought Oracle might come out pick 1 or 2, and it seemes to be really strong right now.
I mean, the thing with the hero is he's one of the only 5s who deals a lot of damage in early stages of the game, and also has like really great saves, and pretty much counters most of the mid heroes, because they're based on burst, and he counters that pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think GGNGG may have come with like this idea. I think everything is pre-planned, what they did here, you know. They knew that J.Storm's going to open with Oracle, so they insta-picked it, and they kind of picked Sand King Lina so they can put them in the same lane, off lane, and Lina can also go mid, so it's kind of an open pick, and I think that's their idea.
Yeah, Lina got buffed a lot in this patch, and over even like the last 3 patches, she got like small armor buffs, agility buff, and they all add up eventually, so I think we're seeing a lot of Linas in this patch.
And of course as well, we've had a Medusa come out there. We already talked about that a little bit yesterday again, about how, you know, that means immediately you're looking to be going to the late game.
Yeah, and also I think they just want to have a Medusa in case this Lina is mid. Right. So there's sort of, maybe GGNG wanted to have an open like first 2, but then they picked Medusa to put him, to make the Lina not go mid.
Wait, I'm confused, because it shows Lina and Sand King for J.Storm.
Wait, what?
Like when the screen changes. So I'm confused.
Oh, okay.
What team has what?
That is a very good point. I'm gonna say trust this screen.
All right, this one?
Yeah, I see trust this.
All right.
But I could be wrong.
Now I'm offbeat.
Yeah, now I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Okay, so they banned Razor, which is pretty good against Medusa, makes sense. Monkey King, you know, I think there was a qualifier game for the major where this Monkey destroy Dusa, right?
Yeah, it's really good in lane, and also you can buy Diffusal and
Sure.
hard counters Dusa in the game too. So yeah.
So I think J.Storm's expecting Dusa to go mid, so they're banning these 2 mid lane counters to him. So they don't think Lina's going mid anymore. But
And what about the Earth Spirit within the context of this pick?
I think it's one of the best 4 heroes. He doesn't need any items to make plays on the map. He kind of has like a built-in blink. Like he can just roll in and start the fights. Let's say Shaker, you know, he's a very slow hero. It's hard to move on him, like, and you have to farm blink pretty much. But this Earth Spirit hero does a lot of damage without blink, without needing any items. And I think Fear plays a good Earth Spirit. You know, big fan of Fear here. So yeah.
And then
wait, you're right, the bans are flipped.
Yeah.
The bans, only the bans.
Only the bans?
No. No. Wait, the pick.
No, the whole thing's
They're all
flipped, I think.
flipped.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't think about it. We'll get that corrected, I'm sure. I know it's a confusing start to the day for you. Don't worry. We'll iron out the gremlins in the system. We got a Weaver in the mix here as well.
I heard some people think that Weaver is strong against Dusa, but I think they picked it against Oracle as well, but some people think because of the Matterburn talent and also your natural item progression that Weaver is strong against Dusa. I don't disagree. I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, you kind of want to play a fast game versus Dusa, right?
Yeah.
Of course, if game goes like above 40 minutes, sure, Dusa's going to be better than Weaver, but the main idea is to like shut down the Dusa and just like
Just
play
hit a
fast,
fast
you know,
peak.
like it's really fast hero Weaver, so yeah, it's basically to shut down Dusa. It's not like they're going to outscale him with Weaver.
Right. And obviously we got a Darkseer in there as well. Synergistic possibilities there, RTZ, or?
I think they had this plan probably when they picked Earth Spirit that they were going to pick Darkseer. Since their first pick, they will get to see like maybe Darkseer would not be good, but turns out it's a pretty good Darkseer game. So they went ahead. They have a pretty good combo, I think, in general. Like their team, like as 4 right now, looks pretty strong. So I think GGNGG needs to have it's GG. Whatever the last second pick team is. Sorry, the UI is kind of weird.
It's all right. Don't worry. We'll get that corrected. We got a void ban in there.
Yeah. I guess they thought that they needed some control for the Weaver. Yeah.
It's kind of good with Darkseer too, right? You know, gives them their damage and chrono and stuff like Shell.
It also makes up for Void's like mid-game flaw, you know, pushing out waves.
Yeah, but it's kind of a weird ban because their lineup's really slow on the team with Earth Spirit and Dusa. Their lineup's really slow, you know. Most of them like just hit creep, so maybe a bit too much overthinking there because they kind of need something that's fast-paced. Like Sven is Sven, I know, but they might pick some Juggernaut or something, you know.
I think
Sven
Chip's
too,
gone
but
as well.
something similar. You get the idea.
Yeah. Let's see, what are they looking for? Moo hero, since Bryle's gonna play Dusa mid, right?
Yeah.
So something that combos with Darkseer is probably what they're thinking is, and Juggernaut is banned, so
I think they can still pick PA and make him play like with drums or something, let's say, and just she runs around with Darkseer and Earth Spirit, you know.
So they want something that lanes against tanking Lina as well with an Oracle.
What would you pick then, Otto?
Maybe I would have prioritized Juggernaut more so than the Darkseer, because I think they banned the second pick actually. Never mind.
It went out in the second.
So Lifesteal Jug is banned. Anti-Mage is not so good with Dusa on your team. Ember, Ember fits the same kind of like category as Jug. It's like helps the Oracle kill when he gets level 3. I think what you want to do is you want to try to kill this lane at level 3 because you're gonna lose passively.
I've never seen Moo play Ember though, so it's kind of
maybe they're doing Ember mid and putting this Dusa bottom against, because 2 range against tanking is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's been happening a lot in people put Dusa safe lane. Maybe, but I think it would be rather stupid to put Ember mid versus Lina because Dusa wins that matchup, and the new Lina, like her attack speed buff, she got the agility buff, right? So attack speed, and it's like insanely strong in lane. The lane she used to like crush, she crushes harder, and the lane she would like draw even or somewhat. She actually wins those lane now, though. She's really strong.
Yeah, she doesn't lose a lane, and she owns the lanes that she will went even in harder.
Yeah, it's like just a big buff. So
he was a beast.
Amber used to lose to Lina, and now I'm sure it's gonna lose harder if they do that. I just don't see any reason to like not put Dusa mid, because that's a free match for Dusa.
Does Dusa like beat Lina hard or what?
No, it's just like she makes Lina buy a lot of mangoes and selves, and kind of
ruins her
delays her
eco.
Yules and stuff. So yeah, Dusa's fine with that because Dusa doesn't have to do anything with the items, right? So if you delay Lina, she has to do like stuff with Yules, and so it's a good trade for Dusa, and it's just a better matchup in game.
Delay her boots, gank her at 5 minutes the first night.
Well,
GG.
you name dropped him, but it looks like we've got an anti-mage. You surprised to see it actually come out here, or is it a good pick?
I mean, I guess it is on paper it looks like a pretty good anti-mage game if you're looking at AM versus all their cores individually. But I think like together their team is like pretty decent, you know, it's not bad. I don't think it's the freest anti-mage game. Dusa versus anti-mage is not like a free win, you know.
Any thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, Dusa hits her timing way faster than anti-mage because like she farms really fast. Anti-mage needs a Battle Fury to come online, but Dusa has Split Shot, which is like Battle Fury for range hero. So if she gets her like 2 items and they manage to like do Roche at the same time, they can go high ground, and there's not much anti-mage can do.
All right. Well, look, guys, that's the draft. We are going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into the action, the opening game here at WSOE 6. So make sure you join us. We'll see you soon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're ready to kick things off here at WSOE. And players getting ready to load on in. J.Storm versus GGNGG here. And, I mean, we were talking about the draft over here. And it seemed like GGNGG did come out on top a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think they theoretically have the better heroes of the patch, I think. GGNG, they have Oracle. I think Oracle's very strong. They have Earth Spirit. They have Darkseer Ember. I mean, their just draft looks very, very well-rounded, and their team fight is a lot better than J.Storm. So I think the problem with J.Storm will have in this game is at some point in this game, I don't think they can actually fight into GGNG's heroes. Even if they have AM, they have to play this very like rat split push game. The thing is that I think J.Storm might just snowball the lanes. They have this Weaver, this Lina sanking off lane. If GGNG don't play their safe lane properly, I think that J.Storm will just snowball. Because like Forv and Fear are really good laners. You know, Forv is one of the actually really good off laner, like in terms of like his laning.
Right.
He's like top MMR in the world off laner. His laning is, that's probably his best like trait as an off laner. So he's the kind of player you don't want to let snowball. And GGNG, I don't think they have the best laners in terms of players, but Ritsu's a really, really good mid-game carry. So it's like a lot of little things like, you know, that the thing about Dota and drafting is like it's very hindsight. If like, you know, J.Storm win this game, you can think, you know, you might think J.Storm has a better draft, but you know, it might, like, there's small little things that can just snowball the game. If the Darkseer or Earth Spirit don't play the lane properly in the off lane, that one little thing can snowball the entire game. Like people don't really see these like little things that can just change, you know? Like you can see the big picture, what happens in 40, 30 minutes, some team fight, but the little things that happen in the laning phase make the game are much more like, you know, specific and snowball the game in general. So, and that's basically what I think for both drafts. I think J.Storm have the easier laning phase. I think GGNG have to play a little bit better than lanes, but if they do, their mid game is way stronger than J.Storm. So that's my consensus.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean, it feels like also like Earth Spirit obviously needs to have an impact in lane, but at some point when they control that lane, has to rotate around the map and start to make some plays in the other lanes as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of the nice things about Earth Spirit. It's also Boris playing it. He's very, very good with this hero. The fact that, you know, you've got this capability to be very mobile between lanes, forcing those supports to use their TPs, respond, and that's, you know, one of the power of Earth Spirit having him in the game, although it looks like we have a disconnect.
Yeah.
You know, a little classic DZ to start things off here.
So it's one thing about the lanes is going to be really interesting. So J.Storm have actually are sending the AM mid, and they're sending Moo safe lane on the Weaver. And who's going mid on Dire? Ryor. Okay. I'm not sure how this AM versus Ember lane is. I don't know why they're doing this. I thought that J.Storm should actually, I think they should have done Weaver sanking off lane and have Weaver play support, Lina mid, and AM and Ogre bottom. Because I think AM will have a free lane versus Darkseer. Like Darkseer cannot contest AM, and Darkseer Earth Spirit is basically a lane that cannot kill AM.
He just ends up farming under tower basically.
So, and then instead now they're doing these lanes, and I'm not sure. I think this will give Ember free farm. And I think Ember versus Lina is actually a favorite matchup for Lina.
Yeah, and that's a vile hero too. Usually you see him on that Lina. He's pretty good with it.
And instead this Ember hero is like really weird, because like if he gets a free lane, he's by like probably the strongest hero in Dota. Like literally at 10 minutes you cannot fight him. With this new build that people are going, I think Thompson actually started it with this Max Light, and they were doing a lot in the Europe qualifiers, and then he just like gets this like level 8, he runs around, he gets these runes, and he just like snowballs the game. And I also think like it's weird, I guess GGNG, I thought if they did Lina mid, then they should have done Medusa mid, because Medusa versus Lina is a favorite matchup for Medusa. So there are all these like little things. I'm just really confused why I think they wanted AM versus Medusa, and they think Ritsu's going mid, so they're like kind of mind gaming themselves. They think it's Ryor or safe lane and Medusa mid.
Yeah, no, I know like recently we've been seeing a lot of the safe lane Ember, like you said, doing the slight build, and that's a little bit greedier too. Is that going to be the same thing that we see in the mid lane here? Because they do have a Medusa, and there's only so much farm on the map.
Well, the best build I think is you go 1-4-4. Basically, it's the most damage output, and you obviously want to max the Flame Guard. Sorry.
All right, well, we have a little bit of a scuffle here for the rune. Moo's going to try to go sneak over there with the Earth Spirit. Meander going to be able to grab it. Yeah, he'll steal it and just slowly run himself away here.
Yeah, looks like 2 end up being picked up for each squad over here early on here. I just got to say, I hope Black's watching this AM mid, you know?
That's going to be some massive pressure, right? The fact that you've got Black watching these games and, you know, he is in the mid lane. Maybe Brow's starting the new trend. What do you think?
It's like good. If the Medusa was good, AM versus Medusa is a favorite matchup. I just feel like if the Ember plays it, yeah, he's just gonna he's going to get complete free farm on Ember. I don't think AM can really like lane resist. I'm not the best mid lane expert though. That's Samil, you know, but
yeah,
I do think this.
It definitely makes sense though, like what you said. And then even if Ember was bullied out of a lane, like he can always take some jungle camps or stack something up, right? Yeah. Like AM's not going to have that ability to make that rotation.
Yeah. So let's see. The really interesting right now is how the side lanes play out. Regardless of, I do think this top lane for J.Storm, it's a lot stronger. Oracle, the problem with Oracle is this 5, he's very like, he's quite weak in lane. And Medusa also is a safe lane, is really, really weak. She doesn't buy Stout Shield, so, and she has very, considerably low base, like she doesn't buy Quelling Blade too, right? Because she's ranged. Yeah. So it's actually quite hard to CS with her. If you look at the Ritsu CS, it's going to be quite low. And if J.Storm plays his lane ball, if they pull the lane back, and keep it static, and then basically Fear makes it so that Jube can't single pull, like I think they'll win the top lane.
Are you at all concerned though the fact that I know once Oracle gets that level 3, he's going to have 2 points in the Purifying Flames and then follow up, you know, with Fortune's End. Really strong nuke.
Yeah,
is that
that's
scary
the thing
for
though.
Like,
it is scary, but if they don't win, if they don't like do decent enough in lane, basically if J.Storm wins the lane before Oracle gets 3, then they're going to be in trouble, you know, on GGNG. But right now, like yeah, it's just these little things. Like their top lane is going to get bullied. Yeah, Ritsu's almost, he has no flask, he has 4 tangos, and I don't know what this bot lane is doing. I think the Earth Spirit, I don't think the Earth Spirit really does anything in this lane.
Would you rather see them do a rotation top than put more pressure onto this lane? Because you said that it's already a bit weak with the, you know, Dusa again doesn't have the most damage in the beginning, and Jube again is only sitting at level 2 currently. Would that be more useful?
I think the Earth Spirit should start roaming. I don't think he does anything. Like this ogre feels kind of sad, honestly. He's not like the happiest ogre. Like they can't do anything. Like if March doesn't misplay this, he won't die. So Earth Spirit should honestly try and roam mid on top. He doesn't really do anything bottom. And if you look at what Mu is doing, he's pulling it to the big camp. This is really good play versus Darkseer. If you look at the Weaver, he's just going to keep, since Darkseer's cutting, Weaver will bring the wave into the big camp and farm it. So like the Weaver will actually get more farm because he's farming a big camp and Darkseer is farming a medium camp. So
yeah, looking into mid though, 14-5 last hits for Ryoya over to the 11-4 of Bryle. Bryle doing all right early on here, but already having to pop his salve, and it's kind of like a war of attrition. He's going to have to keep that region up in this lane.
Yeah, that's also the problem about AM mid versus like Ember will buy a bottle, and AM doesn't really want to buy a bottle. So theoretically, like AM will spend more gold on regen, so his net worth will be lower, even though CS might be the same.
There's the level 3s in that top lane you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I feel like Fear is, you know, he's such a seasoned veteran too. He's going to make sure that he doesn't put himself in the position where it's going to become an issue.
Yeah.
He's also been playing that Lina like really well. Even yesterday he was going off on that Lina, like his positioning, and then just like his LSAs seem to all hit.
Yeah, I think this is a better way for J.Storm to draft. I personally think Fear is a much better lane securing player. He was a carry player for a long time, right? So I think there's like kind of 2 types of force. You generally, okay, Fear dies top. This is a good rotation from Boris. This is what he should have done. And they just need to keep killing this Lina and tanking top. So.
Yeah, I feel like this is way more useful because you were looking at the bottom lane and they just weren't. There's not much you can do against the Darkseer. As we say, oh, there's another one down here. Moon Meander, you know, Caster's Curse. I talked about what can you do against the Darkseer, but he was already sitting very, very low.
It's fine. These deaths don't really matter too much for him. He's gonna have high net worth and high levels. So yeah, now they're tri-laning top, which is good. They need to keep killing this Lina or Sand King. What level is Oracle?
Level 3 right now.
Yeah, okay,
in fact,
so
the Root's going to come out. Roll misses here as Boris looking to catch Fear there. But a swing and a miss. It's still a really scary lane. Like even if they miss, they're just going to reset, wait on those cooldowns.
Yeah. A really big timing in this game is, okay, it looks like Moon is...
Yeah, Moon Meander is going to get stunned up. Does have that to a surge, but Moon just chases him right down.
DD still on him.
I don't know how Moon is dying. I think he should just immediately went back to cut the wave, because like the problem about this, like the Weaver has to choose between farming the lane or killing the Darkseer. And instead, if he lanes like this, it's the worst case situation. And they're going to get both bounty runes on J.Storm. They're going to get 3 bounty runes, it looks like.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You definitely want that.
Yeah, it's a big win for them. Like I said, you know, J.Storm, I think they're the better team in terms of laning, so I think they should snowball lanes. I think Dire is misplaying the lanes a little bit. Their bot lane should have been better. A really big, okay, looks like they're trying to go top. No.
Do you think the issue too is the fact that like Darkseer kind of just wants to farm, wants to get those levels? But then, you know, you have the Earth Spirit. Okay, initiation over on the top lane. Jubei, Light Strike Array, not going to be able to quite connect as he's just going to be able to TP out. Can March find it in time? Oh, he buys him. Handle on the Dragon Slave. And bye.
Okay.
Going out for Jubei.
Really a big thing in this game is actually the 6-minute rune for GGNG. If Ember gets a top rune, if like a haste rune, he can go kill top. It's going to be really big. Obviously, haste rune bottom or top. It's like this rune is really important, especially when you play Ember, because it's around when you get 6, and you have your like level 3 or 4 Flame Guard. So, or Sleight of Fist.
Is that when you want to try to pair up with your Darkseer?
Yeah, it's around.
Making a move. He's got the kill on the Ryoya in the mid.
Okay. That was unexpected.
I feel like that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have happened.
All right, well, still some more issue coming up here for Rev. Going to be able to go, land that stun. They'll root him into place. The slow coming out from the boulder. And they'll find a kill on for Rev.
Yeah. This is the thing, actually, what Sumo was saying in the cast, or earlier in the analysis deck. Ryor, as a player, he's always been very good online. And whenever he gets to a LAN, I think he plays a little bit worse. And I don't know if he gets nervous or what. You know, it's like, obviously I played as well, played professionally, and you know, it's definitely a different beast, you know, playing online compared to LAN. I do think he's and yeah, good rotation from him. Did he get a rune?
I didn't see who actually got the rune there, but this looks like Fear is in trouble. They might have the damage to follow up, and indeed they do. Ritsu actually getting the kill on that, just what the doctor ordered for Ritsu.
Yeah, but Ryor is definitely a player. I feel like he plays much better online in these things, and Ritsu might not as fun.
No, he's all right. Yeah. He's all right. He's got Jubei nearby. Jubei.
Ryor's sticking around.
Him up.
He's gonna go back.
Be fine.
Yeah, this is good what Ryor's doing. He's giving the Earth Spirit the lane mid to get levels while he's rotating around. He realizes that he's really the only core on this team that can really do stuff in the game, so he needs to make space for his team. Because right now, if they just stay static in their lanes as GGNG, they will lose. J.Storm will win and snowball the lanes, you know. So, and you can tell like the way they draft as well. March is playing an Ogre Magi and Jubei is playing an Oracle, and one hero is obviously better in lane than the other. So one team is sacrificing one thing for X, and one team is, you know, sacrificing one thing for Y. So let's see what pairs for.
Ryoya up here at level 6. They're going to find for Rev into the Sandstorm. Burrow Strike down to the low ground. The Remnant forward. Ember is on for Rev, but will he have enough damage to pick up this kill? Rev trying to get back under that tower. I don't know if Ryoya is actually going to die for this. Rev has no backup. So it looks like they could get this kill. Burrow Strike to get almost out of range. He will go down, though. And now March potentially in trouble. He's rounded up by 3, but GGNGG look like they've had enough. Ryoya's going to get the TP out of here.
DD rune top. Weaver will get it. Mu is making some good rotations. He just left his bot lane. He's just running on top with the DD. This is sick.
Oh, you don't want to deal with this right now.
You can disarm. Well, they'll start off with the Swarm. Jubei going over to the high ground. Has that disarm against it this way. He can try to take some of this. Going to go over to the shrine, but nope. Last second, they get that Dragon Slave, and Mu finds himself a kill.
Sick rotation from Mu.
That was sweet.
Yeah, this guy, he's one of the players in NA, I think, you know, outside of Sumo and Artur, he's had really good success, you know, in top 2 at TI6. I think he's one of the better players in NA too. He has this kind of he has the star potential you see in him, you know? Some games he obviously has some rough games, but there's some games where he just plays like a god. I really think
it's really interesting. You have some, Ryoya rotates out of his lane because he was getting crushed and had to make something happen on the map, right?
Yeah.
Mu rotates out of his lane because he's crushing the lane and he knows he can help win that other lane.
Yeah.
It's just 2 different rotations, but 2 different outcomes.
Let's check out the Darkseer. If he's going the Helm build, I'm gonna.
No. All right, for Rev, trying to run himself away. There's going to be the Remnant, and again, Ryoya just doing these really nice rotations. They let the final hit go over to Ryoya.
Yeah. I don't know what 4 is a bit too far out there, but.
Why is this happening now? Because I've been noticing this. I actually just did another cup, and Darkseers have been going for the Soul Ring lately, and I feel like, I think Jenkins was saying it's a little bit weird, right? Because the fact that you're already going to sit a little bit low instead of going for the Helm Dom Rush.
That's like the old school build with the Soul Ring. That was just like a farming build.
You need the Soul Ring. The Iron Shells are too much mana now. It's like you can go for the Faith Beyond had this cool build where you would just rush Vanguard and wouldn't get Soul Ring, but I think I don't know, I tried both out. Soul Ring just feels way better, especially if you time it with the 5-minute Shrine. You get the Soul Ring, use it, you get low, and then you TP Shrine and you're full HP. So I think it's just generally bad. I'm just not sure about the bottle. I'm not a huge fan of bottle. I think you don't get either one. I think you get one. It's too inefficient. It's like too much gold invested into, you know, items that don't really help you fight.
Right.
You know, you have this regen, but you don't, like, in my opinion, he should have had a Soul Ring and almost been at his Dom. because Radiant can't really play too well versus Dom. You know, if he runs around with a Dom, Centaur, and Ember, they can make a lot of chaos on that.
Delicious stack over here for Moo.
This is going to be a big smoke. If you check out the Ember and Gray, I think Earth Spirit's about to hit 6 with the Tome. And this is going to be really important, his first rotation and smoke with the 6. They need to get an objective with this. Because right now, J.Storm is like, they have a 3k lead at 10 minutes, which is considerably strong. Especially how gold works in Dota. There's less gold on the map, so when you get bigger of a lead in the early game, it's actually compounded even more exponentially. That's why you see when these majors and stuff, the leads are never really that high anymore. Because there's just less gold on the map to get a lead. So when you do get these, like, you know, like key objectives or better CS in this regard as a CS, their lead is actually quite high compared to, like, you know, other games. So this AM is really far.
Bryle, 82 last hits compared over to the 43 of the Ember Spirit on the other side. That is brutal.
Yeah, they just snowballed really well. I'm not sure what GGNG can do right now. They need to make a smoke play with the Surge Spirit 6.
They're going to make a rotation, though, here. March, Light Striker A comes through. There's the Laguna for the first time. Boris is just taking so much damage to the face. And they go use that magnetism. Moon Meander chasing after March. March is actually going to be able to stay alive. He is one tanky boy, and they'll come in with Bryle, and he'll get himself a kill. Sounded like they used the epicenter there, too.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know what's happening. I think GG, they need to smoke with the Oracle, the Ember, and the Darkseer together. And there's like they need to actually just go with 4 and do a smoke play. That was like really bad because that was the first Earth Spirit 6, and they wasted it, and they got double killed, and their Darkseer fed too. So this is this is what I was saying before as well, like about the teams. Like I think J.Storm is just better players right now, and they're just outplaying GGNG, in my opinion.
It definitely looked like it. Maybe a bit of miscommunication, like you know what you want to do, you've called it out, but you're just, 20 seconds off of where you should be on the map.
Moo.
He's very far forward.
Jubei, he can...
Jubei's getting chunked down. Moo's, of course, going to chase this on forward. Will he be able to get the kill? Yes, he will. That one looked almost too easy there.
Why didn't he disarm the Weaver? He's being chased down by Weaver.
I'm not really sure. We'll have to ask him maybe in the interview after.
Yeah, right? And Moon Meander, he's having a bit of a tough time. Should be able to escape here. Running right out there with Boris.
Yeah. So look at the J.Storm just outplaying them right now. Moo is like leading the charge. He's going this really cool build too. I see Mason do this on his Weaver. That's basically Mason's best hero, and he made a lot of Weaver builds, so he's going Medallion first. It's really good with Weaver, especially with they made this Weaver buff that was really cool. That third spell, the Geminate attack, does more damage now. This hero's weakness was always that he just lacked damage. So whenever you buff his damage, it makes the hero exponentially stronger. Because he's good in a lot of aspects, but his damage output as a carry is very low. And that's why you don't really see him picked often. But in this game is different because he's an anti-mage as his other core, and he's also like, he's playing more like a utility running around. He's going to go Medallion into Diffusal, which sounds like a really cool build, honestly. Probably Medallion, Diffusal into BKB, and I don't think he can actually die this game.
I really like that. Speaking of items, we're going to have like a 14-minute Battle Fury on the AM here. He's got his Power Treads, 2 Wraith Bands, plus the B Fury. Like, this guy is fully coming online.
Yeah. They have a Smoke, they have Earth Spirit ult. Boone has his... Moon is not going Dom anymore. He's going Greaves straight up. He changed it. Probably for the better. I think it's too late for him to go Dom. Dom is an item where if on Darkseer, you need to get it early. If you get it like some 15-minute Dom, you lose its effectiveness. Dom creep just dies. He gives 200 gold now. Yeah. So, okay, DD Rune.
Happy Dusa to pick that up.
Yeah. Right now, J.Storm, they're actually doing the right thing. They shouldn't take a straight-up team fight. They should not 5v5. This death doesn't really matter. Who's TPing in?
It's going to be Fear TPing in here. I don't know if it's a little too late. In fact, it is way too late. Fear will be going down. Burrow Strike into the epicenter. Can they turn this around? Moo shows up down in the bottom. They're going to find another one. Moo, time to exit here.
That was really bad by J.Storm. They should have let the Ogre die, and like, you don't want to do this. It's very last minute. I think Fear's TP kind of started the trend. I'm not sure if March called it. Like, the thing about these games is like, from an outside perspective, like, you might think Fear messed that up, but who knows how the communication is going? The audience doesn't get to hear what they're saying in game. What if March is like TP, 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 and then you're frustrated and Fear's TPing, and then it's a bad play? Like, that's what I was saying about Dota being very hindsight.
Jubei's just going to get chunked down here by Mu. Boris makes a rotation, tries to save Jubei, manages to pull him back. Might actually be the sacrificial land here as they get the silence. Moon Meander making this rotation as well. They're going to still chase after Boris. He's trying to get himself away into the trees, but they'll find the kill.
Just a little time lapse out, and that's, I mean, Mu's going to rinse and repeat on that one all day long.
Yeah.
He's just, you know, I was worried because they had that AM, right? They have an AM, they have a Weaver. The AM went mid, which isn't something that we typically see, but they're doing a great job with splitting farm up and finding a way to keep everybody, like, just very wealthy, I guess.
Yeah, what is the AM is, he's gonna, like, Brile is, like, ridiculously farm. Honestly, even if J.Storm die a few more times, they're just making space for AM right now. So.
I just wonder, like, how this Dusa is supposed to, well, hold that thought. Fear caught out here. Moon Meander actually going to be picking up that kill. And I'm just thinking about this Medusa, like, later on when they actually start to fight. How are you going to apply any damage? Like, AM is going to be elusive through the fight, getting on target where he wants to. And the same thing with the Weaver. Speaking of Weaver.
Yeah, Jubei, again, he just keeps getting found by Mu, but they'll actually use the active tip. They're going to chase after Mu. And it's just, they don't really have the greatest lockdown. Although with the Searing Chains coming through, March is going to try. They go and they use that time lapse. They're gonna keep on going. They're still looking at March. He's looking real tight. They dropped the wall, actually. Trying to hope maybe to slow him down just a little bit, but he's not gonna be able to run through. There's again March. He's a big tanky boy. It's gonna take a lot. That is 4 heroes now in this bottom lane. 3 of them trying to take down just March alone. And that space, again, we talked about it.
I mean, that kill is fine. If 4 dies here, it's really bad, though. 4 should not die here. What is 4 doing?
Oh, Forev is about to die, I think, Boba.
Yeah, that is really bad death. His Ogre tanked the death. He should have been in the trees. He should just TP'd out. They're just feeding now.
Jubei got killed by Mu again.
Yeah.
I don't think Jubei can even show on the map at this point.
The thing about Medusa or AM is, like, it's not as simple as it was. Like, there's a lot of things that the one thing that Medusa does lack a little bit is she takes a lot of time to do damage. But there's there's ways you can circumvent this. You can pick Avenge with the Medusa. In this game, I think, you know, Darkseer maybe went to Helm. He could have got a Alpha Creep. And then at some point, you cannot teamfight this Medusa, right? Because you cannot jump her. Because if the Oracle hits his spells, they will have a ball. Dire will play it like the game, you know, as a death ball. You know, at some point they will get their timing and go down a lane. And Radiant needs to. Their team fighting is a lot worse. They have to spellcast way better than Dire to win the game, in my opinion. If the game does go long. And if you remember, at 10 minutes the lead was 3K and it's 2K. And what should happen for J.Storm is the lead should have kept going. It should have kept escalating exponentially. And right now it should have been maybe like a 6 or 7K lead because they picked heroes to win the lanes. But I think Forev is misplaying this game really poorly right now. He had really bad deaths. The one reason this game is doing well is because of Brile and Mu. Their 1 and 2 are playing really well right now. And Mu's carrying his team right now.
Yeah, he's creating so much space across the map. Gets
fine,
low,
right?
time lapses right on out of here.
Is he gonna die here? If he dies here...
I mean, he's totally out of mana.
Oh, shit.
Boris has the roll on in. Wall comes down. Mu trying to get back over to the shrine. March will go down over here. And that's the only one to go down.
Oh, my
Mu's
God.
looking hot at the end of it as well.
800
so really
gold,
big
guys.
pickup.
Boris.
800 gold. You guys, J.Storm cannot teamfight them. They're taking all these bad fights. They need to get pickoffs. Like, they need to play split push. That's also a problem with Dota right now. It's hard to split push. Like, people are just gotten better. You think that it's because, like, the patch doesn't favor it, but people just are a lot better at crossing map. People are a lot better at pushing lanes. People are a lot better at just playing Dota. So it's hard to split push, and looks like Brile will be fine here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out.
Oh.
They see him, but they can't do anything about it.
That was a long TP. Okay. So AM, they need to just wait for AM's timing. Dire's going to wait for Medusa's timing. Dire's timing is faster. The lead is only 1K. I think the game is going pretty well for GGNGG right now.
Do you like the phase boots pick up on the Ember? Because I've been noticing that I've been seeing more of the boots of travel picked, just because of the fact that, you know, you can TP to lane, you can TP to, you know, your towers and whatnot, and eventually, if this game goes late enough too, you get a little concerned that AM's going to be split pushing.
I think personally in this game, I think the phase boots is really good. They buffed the item a lot for melee heroes. It just makes you move really fast now because the movement speed is percentage based, right? It is percentage based. So in general, like when he's surged and you phase boots, like you move incredibly fast, you know? Like this, and you also want to hit the faster timing. You don't need bots this game. He doesn't need to play this type of Ember when he needs to rat the game. He needs to just run with his Darkseer and kill everyone on the map, which he's doing. His laning phase was rough, but he's actually playing the mid game quite well. but he is kind of falling off a little bit in net worth.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's falling off a cliff of the net worth right now.
Bryle?
Well, he's got the Manta already here. Looks like he'll be able to get out of this one. March could be the sacrificial lamb once again as GGNGG picking up steam. Burrow Strike peels for March as the wall comes down over here. Forev getting in the thick of things with that Sandstorm. And it looks like there'll be one to go down. March just the first. Epicenter flies as well. Doesn't connect on anybody. It looks like it should be a clean out for both squads.
Yeah. So Radiant just needs to, well, this is one team's looking for fights, one team is ratting. So.
You have the Greaves completed though now in the Dark
Yeah.
Seer. So that's still pretty nice, right? Especially if they're going to be fighting a lot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Having
like
that
the
extra
item,
aura.
Oracle, the thing about Oracle with Darkseer, it's like, Oracle with Greaves, it's like one of the reasons Greaves actually became, like, Oracle became popular, just people kind of like, I think OG, and it was like the finals of some minor or something like that, old but gold, and was playing in it in OG, and I saw Oracle being picked up. And the hero with the synergy with Greaves is like insane. If you Oracle with someone, they get Greaves, like the person will live. It's very hard for them to die. So if they jump this Medusa and they use everything, he gets Oracle off and he presses Greaves, like Medusa will live. And if he lives and they use all their spells, Dire has their spells up, they're going to counter-initiate and they're going to win the team fight. Like all this game is going to come down to is that one team fight and who will cast their spells better. And the thing is, Radiant needs to be much farther ahead to win the team fight. Because Dire has spells like Wall. Darkseer versus AM is a weird matchup. Because AM will have a free lane versus Darkseer. Yeah. But the wall of the Darkseer wall is really insane. This is probably the best spell of this hero. The wall illusion, when you get like level 2 or 3, like this AM illusion can literally 1v5 this lineup, you know? Like if he gets heart, whatever on this AM, a butterfly on the AM, Darkseer has it. You just surge this AM illusion, you just run around, you kill everyone in the team fight.
Well, if you can't get your own AM, right? And
Yeah.
things are going
It's always
against
the
you.
silver lining, right?
Yeah.
Just get yourself your own. But looks like
Oh,
they're
this is
going
a
to
really good
Roche
smoke
net.
from Dire. This could be they combo
Oh,
well.
Ryoya, he's got an idea. He wants to go, uses the slide, spots them out. Roche not that low just yet. They do the diffuse online, going to make Ryoya just get surged up. I don't know if they, should they take this fight right now? The smoke actually breaks. Boris still standing back.
They need to chill. Radiant cannot team
They won't
fight,
move.
so they will run away. And Bryle is doing the right thing. He's ratting top. They need to force them back top. And Ember will TP here. One of the cool things about Ember, obviously, versatile push.
That's about all they can do. Yeah, look at them. They just kind of look at each other back and forth.
Back.
Space.
Gonna have me
Oh
silenced
my
up and
God.
just chopped down. I mean, if he lets himself get silenced, and Bryle finding the kill in the top lane here. With the Ember Spirit down, no buyback, Bryle's gonna start just doing a little chip damage on the T3 here.
Oh, Boris, though, he almost gets him. He just gets a little bit off to the side.
Dire, this Medusa has butterfly soon. He's gonna be very, very strong. As soon as they get this butterfly and her 20 talent, they should aim to just take over the Roshan and just do it, honestly. I don't think Radiant can team fight the Rosh. So if this Medusa gets Aegis, they just need to walk down a lane. You know? And
They have so much other save too, right?
Yeah.
Because you talked about you've got the False Promise on the Oracle, you've also got the Guardian Greaves completed now on the Dark Seer.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very difficult to take down Medusa. As
Do you think like
later?
we see like either Moo or Bryle kind of just like they're looking for the Oracle to like reveal his positioning
they
in those
have
fights?
to. They need to pick off the Oracle. This game comes a lot down to obviously spellcasting and teaming. That's what Dota is. You know, the best teams in the world, essentially they win these games because of their spellcasting. You know, VP, Secret, they have, you know, they have some of the best spellcasters in the world, and like, you know, especially these 5 positions. This 5 position role is like a very unique role. Like a lot of the talent, like you need to play 5 when you play these heroes like Oracle. You need to have really good spellcasting. Players like Fly, Solo, you know, their spellcasting is insane. And I mean, Juve, I'm a fan of. I don't think his spellcasting is as good as those guys. So it does come down to that. But this is a very easy game. If he camps behind the Medusa, unless the Medusa frontline, he should be able to get his spells off. The one thing is the Oracle talent did get nerfed with his talent, but if you get the level 10, if you get the experience and you get the 15 talent, it makes up for it. So
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at him because he has the position 5. Generally, you want an Aether Lens because you're talking about casting the spells, but also you need to have good positioning. You can't be up front, especially when you have something like that Weaver that can zip around, because people thirst Oracles hard. They know exactly that is the guy that's keeping your core alive. But Roche is going to fall. Rutsu takes up that Aegis of the Immortal.
there's a DD rune bottom. If they scout this out, Ember should probably give Medusa the bottle, and they actually just need to like take the map now on GGNG. They cannot let this game go late. Because if this game does go super late, AM will win. It's like a weird like swing. Like right now, GGNG is strong, so Radiant cannot teamfight them. So they need to rat, and at some point, if they don't, AM will get too strong. If he buys a BKB, etc., then they're going to be the ones that are strong. And then at some point near the end, like the Dark, it's like a very weird swinging
It's kind of weird though, because like obviously with the Medusa so strong, they want to like group up and start to make something happen. But if the AM just rats it down, like you would send Ember Spirit back so he can jump back to his team, like if he does push the AM back. But AM's just wrecking him because he's over double his net worth right now. So it's not like an effective rotation for the Ember Spirit.
They need to, right now what they're doing is good. They need to brute force a lane now. Like, they need to, like, they can even cut waves. They can do all these, like, shenanigans. Like, call them Cloud9 tactics, you know? It's like some Cloud9 stuff from, like, several years ago. Like, Envy used to do this all the time. Now he overdoes it sometimes, but it's funny. Like, they need to actually just, they need to just cut these waves. And what they're doing now is really good. They push out top one wave, and they're going mid. Right now, Forev is in the right position, and he's even drawing it on the map. He's drawing lines on the side lanes. And Bryle needs to cut this, like, he needs to be cutting waves. If you watch the finals, Ramsey's, it was VG versus VP. Ramsey's played AM in one of those games, and his team was feeding, but he literally played that game like an absolute god. Like, his wave cutting, everything, his decision making was, like, really good.
Oh, smart. Cheeky ogre.
Canceled off here. That's really big. There's 2 heroes from J.Storm in the base right now, and March gets dropped on down. Instant buyback. Bryle chopping down on the T3 in the bot lane. Work getting done in the top lane as well, but just a Sand King there. Bryle, ball comes down. He's stunned up, held in place. Manta comes out. He gets the blink. He's going to stay alive just on a sliver of health. Back over on the river, Ryoya will get taken down as he's chased down by J.Storm.
Yeah. Good job by Bryle there and Forev. Now they're playing the game properly. They're not taking these dumb fights, like they're not TPing bottom. They recovered. They messed up and they're like, guys, we can't do this. We need to rat this game, and now they're doing it. And Dire, they're not understanding really how to best to deal with the waves right now. They're not cutting. So,
I mean, they used a lot of resources to try and take AM down there. Like, obviously they had to stop the push, but so many resources went into that. They don't get the kill. It feels bad, man.
You have one more stun in that, and AM dies.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about that illusion. It does so much damage, especially because he is so far ahead here, 19k net worth.
Yeah, and right now as well, like, J.Storm's gonna have like they're gonna have like the Team Secret kind of networks where they have like YapzOr. Fear is like the YapzOr, Forev is like the Zai, and look how farm Fear is. Like, this is kind of how Secret plays. With the 4 position takes a lot off the farm. It's like kind of always been like this in Dota. There's like like EG at TI5, AOI took a lot of farm. It always comes back. There's some patches where it's better, some patches it's worse. This is definitely a patch where it feels like it's good to give your 4 some farm. So right now, like, this Lina is like Yules and Aether Lens. Like, he's gonna scale. They're gonna have 4 basically course on Radiant, and they're gonna have March with his Ogre. He's gonna Bloodlust someone, and that's all he has to do. By Sentries and Bloodlust.
Right, yeah, that's his job. Is you hit Bloodlust.
They're gonna have 4 cores, and Dire is like this Earth Spirit. They're gonna Radiant's gonna build BKBs, and they're gonna start lacking damage. This is where the game is getting kind of swingy right now. Like, Dire is losing their timing. They need to do something.
Moose actually got BKB in the base right now.
Double down on sorcery.
I'm just going to keep on pushing out these waves here. And 6k net worth going over to the side of J.Storm.
Yeah.
BKB does get picked up though, like you said.
Yeah.
So.
And AM is also going BKB, right? Oh no, he's going. He's not going. He's going Basher.
Look how cheeky Forev is, man. This guy, what a player.
A lot of space.
They're just chasing him back, pull out the vacuum, get the slide off, and chains. They'll get a nice pickup on Forev, but again, look at the top lane. It's pushing in.
They're playing too slow on Dire. They need to immediately go top right now. That's 4. They already killed the pressure bottom, so they need to immediately cross map, and this is happening. They're playing way too slow. Oh, this is a problem also about like this is a hard game for them to play if they didn't play like perfectly at some point too. And that's just Dota, right? You misplay, so this AM is getting way too fat.
I'm worried that they're not going to be able to do anything, and that he's going to be able to turn this around. Although with Ritsu in the neighborhood, maybe it's a little bit less scary, but like Moon alone.
And this is like a thing also, like one more point is like, this game is all like this, I think, like because of this solo death mid. Like, people don't really understand like how much this small mistake in the lane can snowball this, because if this Ember didn't die, if he played the lane better, and didn't give AM all this net worth and levels, like maybe this game would have been very different. Like one little thing, it's like you guys have watched that movie The Butterfly Effect, right? You know, is that the name of the movie?
That's yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's an actual thing too. It's an actual butterfly.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just citing the movie with Ashton Kutcher or whatever. Is that,
yeah.
It was a good movie. Actually, it was really bad, but I'm gonna say it's a good movie.
Wasn't that like a horror thriller movie?
It was just the ending was bad, but the story was cool.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Maybe I'm gonna watch this, Bulba.
Yeah,
It's like 15 years old. You're not gonna spoil it.
That's what you think. I don't know.
Life is a butterfly effect, and Dota's life. So for us at least, and that one little mistake could have snowballed. You know, if that if the Ember doesn't die mid, maybe this game is different.
Yeah.
If bot lane played better, maybe this game is different. All these one little thing can just snowball the game into one little different aspect. You know, that's the cool thing about Dota compared to other games. That's why I love it.
It's really tough for GGNGG. They have to get these lanes pushed out. Basically, every single lane almost to the river before they're going to try and make anything happen on the map. If not, they'll be completely ratted down. I mean, Bulba, how do they do that?
I mean, it's they have to they have to do what I was saying earlier. They need to cross, you know, they need to play like they're a gladiator on the field. They cannot care, because the problem right now is you don't. The thing about also observing Dota is you don't see Fog of War. Like, one thing as a coach, right? Generally, it's I watch their games, obviously, and I try and save my judgment for the game till I watch from Fog of War, because when I'm watching with you guys or I'm watching in the stands when they're playing, I see everything. And it's it's much easier for me to talk, you know, sit on my throne here and talk, you know, all the shit you guys can do this and that. But ultimately what matters the most is what they see on the map. And you don't know what to see. You know, obviously you can turn off Fog of War. They don't have no vision right now. So look, what is this chase?
It looked like Forev was isolated, and it felt like it would be a good kill, but Bryle hanging in the wings, they can't even lock Forev down even if they had him isolated.
He was trying to bait. He was trying to bait real hard there, I have a feeling. Yeah, because Bryle was just standing nearby yeah, I dare you. I dare you to go on Forev, because Forev's going to be able to get away. But then you had a couple of the other heroes show up, so I think he rethought. There's no reason to fight into that.
Yeah. Is that still 10-second BKB on the Weaver?
I don't think he's used it yet, no.
Feels good, because he's had that for 5 minutes.
Does it feel good? In some ways too, though. You kind of want to be fighting. You want to be using the.
No, they don't want to fight. J.Storm is right now. They're chilling. I'm sure March. You know, if I was playing him, I know the game was won. You know, if I'm playing this Ogre, my cores are way too fat. They cannot deal with the lane pressure. This game is gonna keep getting snowball, and Dyer's just misplaying the lane, right? Yeah, the Ember, he bought the bots, he wants to deal with the split push, but he's just too poor. This Ember's network is so poor.
Oh,
Ryoya. Find Ryoya? Oh my goodness, just decimated here in his own jungle. You can't let that happen.
Yeah, I feel bad for Ryoya right now. He's way too low net worth. You cannot have your mid player be this poor. It just ruins the game, you know. If this Ember's network should be where the Darkseer is at, and the Darkseer should be where the Ember's at, and maybe this game is playable, but you know, he's not gonna do anything.
J.Storm starting to mount some pressure. Stun land over here, and it looks like an easy kill onto Jude. Wall comes down from the high ground there. I'm not sure what the call is. They're going to go and surge forward some illusions onto Moo. Burning the mana off this Weaver. Still holding his BKB, so he's not really even feeling threatened at all.
He doesn't need to save it. He's going to have his MKB soon. They're waiting for second Roshan. When they get the Aegis and Cheese, they can go as a ball. Fear's going to also have his BKB. They're going to have double BKB. They're going to have Mars. He's never going to get his Vlads. They have Crimson Guard on the Sand King. Crimson Guard's probably one of the best items versus Medusa. It is the best item versus Medusa. Mitigates most of her damage. And yeah, the aim will just be too fast. He's already level 25. So GNG needs a perfect vacuum wall. They need the perfect team fight to come back now. They lost their timing. Now they just need to wait for they need to play some 60-70 minute game. IG, TI2, you know, Snore. They need to get Breep here on Medusa, go super late.
That's a long way to go.
That's exactly, that's how they have to play. You know?
What's the Bulba win percentage over here for J.Storm?
I think J.Storm will 93%, you know,
93, okay, that's oddly specific.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Oddly specific. Well, I mean, you said earlier, Bulba, it could come down to just one massive team fight, too. Coming out from either side, although it definitely feels like it's kind of slipping away from the side of GGNGG. But, you know, I would be totally happy with the Rapier pickup, you know, as our first game of the day, really, you know, making this exciting. I'm down.
WSOE, baby.
Yeah,
right now.
Ryle's got silenced up. They'll go. They'll use the Stone Gaze. Lightstrike right now going to be able to fight land. They go. They grab Kyle right back into the wall, but he's going to blink himself out. And they're just trying to get away. Beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Coming out from Sand King, the roll, and then Fear. He's got that BKB, baby. He's going to just walk away, try to shore it up. Brev's gonna get thrown up into the air for just a little bit, but there's just no fear. They're not afraid of being that. You know, look at this. Poor Jubei trying to run himself away, and they're just taking buildings left and right. Brev still chasing after the Sand King. He's just making space. Bryle's on the back lines. We talked about them thirsting after that Oracle. Brev finally is gonna get slain. This is, just look at it. Just Bryle walks right into the base.
You see Bryle ignored everything else. Like he just jumped around, waited for Oracle to reveal, got on top of him.
He forced the Oracle to save himself. Too.
Exactly what he wants to do.
And Mu took bot Rax during that good play. Classic Mu, TI6, you know, playing versus EG, ratted the Raxes on Beastmaster. That guy's a good rat. He's a very good split pusher. Mu. Yeah. One of the better split pushers in Dota, actually, no joke. Like, he really understands how to play, get really farmed on this hero.
All right.
Spy's back for some reason. I guess he wants to protect Roshan. J.Storm understands this. Like they shouldn't give up. Like GGNGG's only win condition is so they get second Roshan and get like Rapier and Medusa.
Oh, and Ritsu has to run away now.
AM still holding ult here. It's just a full defensive maneuver from GGNGG. Ryoya getting his mana burned down super quick here. Smooth gets a couple attacks off. Slide of Fist, clearing out the creep wave. Might just be trying to slow it down at this point, but GGNGG, they really are sticking around each other here around this Medusa. Like, that's kind of their win condition. I mean, I guess it totally is at this point. And, yeah, J.Storm just don't feel the need to force anything, rather. And they get immediately into bottom and top lane once again.
Like you can see, J.Storm understands, like, the only way they lose this game is a bad team fight. Like, I've seen these, you know, I'm sure newbies play this game before as GGNG. They've played this Medusa, some SCCC Medusa. The other team disrespects this hero and then loses a team fight. The lead goes from like 20k to like 5k.
This is a huge problem. You know, they send Ryoya up to the top lane to try to deal with this Weaver. Do have a big fight breaking out though. They drop the wall, they drop the Magnetize. There's a Laguna getting used. Boris going to be able to roll himself away. And Ritsu gets healed up by the Oracle here. They have to TP out though.
They have to.
They cannot. Oh, Bryle. Oh, look at these. They're so beautiful. These burrow strikes coming out from Ferev.
Yeah, Ferev's been so on point. Wow. Actually, Jim hits the deck over here as well, and it's going to be J.Storm that moves in to clean up Roche, which is pretty much worst case scenario for GGNGG at this point, and that might just be the nail in the coffin.
Bryle is with.
Oh.
Who died top?
Boris?
Yeah.
Hey.
That's good. That's great.
That is really good.
I don't know.
I wish I saw that one.
Sorry. Anyways, yeah,
well-timed silence.
Shout out to Bryle for this game. He's like played like a god. He's got a solo kill mid. His decision making the entire game. He didn't take any dumb team fights. He just farmed. You know, it was all because of the solo kill. It gave him a lot of momentum. Like what, minute 11, 12 Battle Fury, which is insanely fast. It's probably later. I'm exaggerating that, but somewhere around that.
I think it speaks a lot to the mentality too, because like yesterday there was a bit of criticism on like the way he was playing in game 2 when they dropped into Juniper. Here you can see in the replay once again another burrow strike onto 2. AM cleans up the mana void. They're gonna lose Darkseer plus the Oracle plus that gem once again, and it's just pretty devastating to the economy of GGNGG.
The lockdown coming out from J.Storm has just been so on point, especially for Ev. We've talked about him being a playmaker. He's played a lot of like Pango too. He's very good about knowing where to exactly be, and it's showing off. Like we saw a 4-man burrow strike earlier. Like it was beautiful. It was a little conga line.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Ritsu too. He played this game really well, even though his team is like right now losing. He did his job. He has no deaths. He had, in my opinion, he had kind of like a rough lane. He was put into a rough lane. He got really farmed. He made good calls. I do feel like this game, the difference maker in this game was the Bryle versus 7-4-7 matchup. Bryle, I think, is just
that's 3 people who have MKBs now.
Fear got his own MKB right now. That is ridiculous.
He's so far.
It's a 21k net worth, though.
That's what Bobo was saying, though, like, right, is that you've got, like, all these other cores.
Yeah, you have four core versus 1 core on die right now.
That feels bad, man.
You can have the best carry in the game, and it doesn't matter if the other team has 4 cores that are farmed. You know, there's items or 2, like, you know, if you itemize well, it doesn't matter. Like, 1 hero will never really 1v5 in Dota anymore.
Well, a slow death, it appears, for GGNGG here in game 1 up against J.Storm, as J.Storm slowly but surely kind of just tighten the chokehold on GGNGG. There's really nowhere to go on the map, and if they make their way out there, people are just getting wrecked down. Feels like just a matter of time before J.Storm are going to pull the trigger and get in here, and as we say it, Bryle, no fear, just blinking up to the high ground here, putting work onto Moon Meander.
That sheep stick, though, pause that thought as Moo just gets evaporated. There's 4 heroes they're
That's the
chasing
caster's
after.
blessing for GGNGG.
Oh, Bryle, did you get a little too greedy here? Does have that spell shield up, so trying to run away. Bryle making his way over. He has a sheep stick for the first time now. They've already used the Manta, and he's not going to be able to get him.
Really low. March will get chased down here. So ultimately 2 kills for GGNGG, which is really great for them.
I was about to say, you guys sound like you're giving a eulogy already, just like,
I mean, that's what it felt like.
But there's still a glimmer of hope. We got a Dusa in this game. We got a Dusa.
I mean, basically, like,
sheep
Moo
stick
did
pickup.
get picked off by Boris in the top lane on, like, the last time he was pushing that lane, and then they do it again. So, like, those 2 kills back-to-back, that's a huge momentum swing for them. If they don't get that kill on Moo, like, it's a whole different story.
This is a... I'm not sure if Ritsu should go Satanic. I think he should go Rapier.
Nice save coming out from Boris.
It just
There's
does
a
no
Mana Boy
damage.
wind up there. First stun gaze of the game. The Hex comes out, stun to follow as well. Bryle has no mana. And that's just going to be the Aegis procced off. A lot of abilities used, though. Yeah, as you say, it's time to run, and they
Forever's
sure
coming.
tuck tail.
Rev's looking for another Ravage there, pretty much.
They should, if Dire has a Tome, they need to give it to Darkseer. Darkseer's 20 talent is like probably one of the best talents in the game. The AoE surge, it's like, it's conceptually really broken, honestly, especially with how movement speed and stuff now works. Like, you have 5 people hasted basically if you use it properly. And they can still win this game. Like, you know, like I said, Newbie definitely won this game before. It's like deja vu, Newbie versus some random team some year.
That's a big kill, though, getting that Courier, the Reaver on it.
Yeah, I don't know if Ritsu should go Satanic. I don't think he should. I think he needs to just go Rapier. It's their win condition. Rapier and Medusa. Or else they will just lack damage.
Is it Rapier into just like you defend until you get enough kills to start to move forward?
You need to just play in your base. You need to get Rapier. Just defend the mid-racks and hope they throw the game.
It is
They
Dota.
might do. They might do.
It is Dota.
Yeah.
You never know.
There's NA teams here. You know, they're definitely impatient.
Well, things kind of stall out here around the 42-minute mark. We look at this is 23-18, GGNGG in favor in the kill score, but definitely on the back foot, and they have been for the majority of this game. 24K net worth advantage over to J.Storm, and they've been pushing that advantage, so they just keep the pedal forward, and we'll see. As long as they don't make any misplays here, things look really good for them.
Sure, the game is going to be chill. J.Storm they still don't want to take a straight up 5v5. It's just way too difficult versus Darkseer and Medusa. So they're going to just keep getting farmed. Looks like they're going on the Ember
top lane, yeah.
He's dead.
Just watch that slow pincering moment in the top lane, and you know Ember's just trying to find farm. He's got those boots to travel, thinks that he's going to be able to be safe.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say
no
space
vision.
created, but he doesn't have a buyback. Let's see. No, he needs 80 gold, 88 gold for his buyback there.
I mean, to be fair, Medusa is pretty good at defending high ground, so you also still have the wall, but you definitely want to fight when your Ember's up, and that's not going to be for another 50
they need a really good
second.
wall if they're going to defend that.
Got their own sheep stick. Leap forward there, coming out from Forever. They're going to be able to find Jubei. Is Jubei going to be able to stay alive? No, they're going to try, but he's still alive. Bryle has the BKB up and running, and they'll go turn their attention to tower. Stone Gaze going to come out from the Deuce again. The roll's being thrown out over on the side. Forev sees a survivor. He's going to live forever, it feels like, in this game. He was on Ritsu, followed up with the Light Strike Ray Fear. He's getting ready. They burned through all the mana. Nice save, though, coming out from Jubei. He's going to try to heal it, but there's just so much damage. I don't think Ritsu's going to stay alive.
Standing his ground.
Are they going to be able to keep him? Yeah. He's still alive and kicking, but no, he pops. He'll turn the attention again down to Boris as he's going to get Yules into the air. Still alive, though. Oh, he's so low. Turns around. Fear trying to run him out, but they'll pull him right back again with a vacuum, and they'll nuke him down. Ritsu finding a kill.
Man, Ember was like at 30 gold off of his buyback, and you can see it's coming up. Well, he has 2 seconds left. That is pretty rough.
I don't know. This Ember, he went sheep stick too, try and kill. He's like some utility Ember right now.
Who's got the sheep stick on the side of the Radiant? I thought I saw one coming up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Forev
okay,
does.
Forev does. Yeah, Forev's mega farm. Look at this guy.
I mean, with that net worth advantage, like you have like 5 items that you picked up over your other.
Yeah, it doesn't
your
matter.
opponent.
Like right now, it's like even though Dire has the better spells in terms of team fighting, they're just like way too poor. It just comes down to the Ember's net worth, and a byproduct of that is like obviously a laning phase. So let's see. They're still being patient, you know. I think Radiant, J.Storm should just wait for Alina, and then immediately they can. They have the option of waiting for the third Roche. It's about to spawn in 20 seconds, so they have the map control right now. So they're just gonna wait for it to spawn. They're gonna get every bounty rune. The lead will probably go up to right now. The bounty runes are like exponentially high. It's like I don't know all the math exactly, but yeah, it's a lot of gold. So it's gonna,
math
yeah, yeah. So
Tis mine.
it's gonna get around a 30k lead. In a few minutes, they're gonna get Roshan.
It's all for him. Does this game get scarier as it gets later and later though, just because you do have that Dusa effect?
Yeah, but the problem is like, it's like the whole idea, like, it's not like how it used to be. And like one hero, there's like a few heroes in Dota can 1v5, but it's even hard for those. Like, he doesn't have another core on his team right now that does damage, and he doesn't really have Avenge with him. He also, I don't think he should have went Satanic. I think he needed to buy Rapier. He will just die. He won't do enough damage. It's too many farm heroes on Radiant.
You think maybe because he has the Oracle on his side is why he goes Satanic?
Yeah, but he can't live with that. He can't play with that mentality. He needs to be able to do as much damage output as possible in the few seconds that he's in the fight. Because Radiant is never going to take a straight up 5v5, right? They're going to skirt around. So in the few minutes where he's able, like few seconds where he's able to hit people, he needs to do a lot of damage, and that is only through Rapier. So
makes sense.
Look at the amount of items that Baral has to backpack right now. He's got his Battle Fury in there, he's got his Basher in there, he's got the Aegis. It looked like, I think Moo picked up the Refresher Shard so he can just constantly stay alive.
So Ritsu,
he's got a lot of defensive items.
Still gotta say, Ritsu played really well this game, my boy. You know, Ritsu lives like 5 minutes away from me for like the last like 13 years of my life. I only seen him once.
Each other a lot?
I've only seen him once.
Only once?
Yeah. That's how...
that's how elusive he is?
Yeah, that's how antisocial we are.
I can dig it.
It's great when you see each other more often out at vets.
There's that AoE surge now. X coming out, wall down as well. Bryle has all his mana burned off, but he's not really worried about it. The Aegis is procced off.
That illusion.
Just felt for free on GGNG side, range down. They're gonna go ahead and hang around here. Forev jumps in with the big epicenter combo, but everybody's still alive for GGNGG. It's March, the only hero that's dropped thus far. Now GG are gonna look to chase forward Fear. BKB still ticking. He pulls up for the TP. Will it time out? Can they cancel it off? No, they can't. So they lose both racks, but they stay alive.
Megas, 31k. He needs a, I don't know. I'm trying to think about the best way they can win this game. I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Be their coach, Boba. Be their coach. Tell us.
What?
Like, if you're in their ear right now, if you could make that call, what is the call that you make?
I mean, they just have to be patient. They need to like get some ward down. They need Rapier and Medusa. They need to just wait. Like, they need to give Ember farm. The problem is they have Megas, so they're not going to get much net worth. Like, the creeps they hit are not going to be that give a lot of gold. So I don't know. This Ember just needs more items right now. Like, he needs Octarine Core. He needs a Lincolns. He needs a lot of items right now. He just, I don't know. It's like the one way I see this game is they need like a super fat Ember.
That Abyssal is very
Along
worrying
with the
too,
Medusa.
that they just picked up on the anti-mage. Yeah. It's even more lockdown than they already have. And,
Invisibility.
you know, we have one spell with Forev just, you know, hitting multiple targets at once, not to mention, you know, everything else that they have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this Rapier might be too late.
It might be too late, but it's their only play. I wonder what he's gonna probably put his bots in his backpack. Put his Rapier.
Look at that net worth difference.
I mean, Radiant should understand that the only way they win is Rapier, so they actually just put a ward there and like make so if they kill the courier, because Dire cannot leave the base, you know. If they leave the base, they're gonna lose the game.
Right.
They're smoking to buy the Rapier.
Oh.
They're actually smoking to buy the Rapier.
Nice, next level.
Getting distracted though.
Yeah, they
just
kill the
again, they're going after Forev, but Forev, he's got the rest of his team standing nearby.
Oh,
They're not afraid of it. There's the Finns are coming through, bopping to the wall here. Mumiander trying to run away. He's not going to be taken down. Will actually lose Forev this time, but they use the Stone Gaze and they use the wall. And there's still plenty of people alive and kicking right now. They're just turning their attention now to Dark. And Fear chasing after that illusion. They don't want to have it. A couple of buybacks coming out from Forev, coming out from
Ritsu bought the Rapier too.
And they've got the Rapier online.
That was a... I don't know, dude. I'm telling you, Ritsu is actually a really good player. Like, I'm pretty sure that like he's making all these calls for his team. I've played with him. I've played pubs with him. He's a very smart person. Like, no joke. You know, shout out to UNC, our mother alums. But he's a very smart player. Like, I can tell like a lot of the decision making in this game. I think the reason they're in this game is because of him. so I'm obviously biased. He's my friend, but
That's why they do
For
call
sure.
you biased Bulba, right?
yeah.
I mean, he's 5-1 and 13, 750 last hits for him here, almost 50 minutes in. And it kind of comes down to it. Like, he is fully the win condition. He has to be great positioning. He has to get all the damage done for his team. So it only makes sense that they kind of listen to him. He knows where he needs to be.
How many times do J.Storm,
Tis mine.
because they keep throwing their bodies at them, right? Because they want to finish this up. They have to be a little bit more careful now, obviously, because there is the Rapier online.
Invisibility.
When does this really start to turn, though, on them, where they've thrown their bodies too many times? It's you know, the full Helm's Deep effect sort of deal.
Nice analogy there.
Thank you, thank you.
So I have to do like 3 or 4 more times. Optimistic. Maybe? I mean, the thing
It's
is,
Dota. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, especially when you got a Rapier in play.
they need to bring out the Eternal Enemy in them right now. But they're down 3 racks, not 2.
They're creeping.
Sneaky J.Storm
They
action
should see
here.
that. They should see that ward.
Moon Meander's going to have to get off a really good wall on this defense. Jump in, Frev. They've got the Hex. They've got the kill on Oracle, and there's going to be no buyback for that. Stone Gaze comes out. Looks like Moon Meander close to dropping down. J.Storm looking to reposition back off that Stone Gaze here. Ember, Yulesed up. Fear trying to get himself back here, but a jump in. Nice Burrow Strike into the Epicenter combo. There's only now buyback from the Darks here. They're trying to do everything they can. Laguna Blade comes out. That's going to dunk the Dusa. No buyback there, and it looks like J.Storm has done it. Right now, 51 minutes in, it's going to be the GG called out there. It felt like it was only a matter of time, but J.Storm finally closed it out.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, one last thing about this game. There's like whoever gets like the most GPM in a game gets like some award, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Bounties.
Bryle's GPM is insanely high this game, actually.